Child. So sorry, y'all. I'm having me some time. Happy Royal Key Wednesday. Let me fix my screen. I am in my hometown this time, and so we're into new scenery. I was going to do it from home, or from my parents' house, but I was like, nah, you know what? Like, let me mix it up a little bit. Like let me go to a bar or something. The girls be going to the bars. They enjoy the bars. So let me see what that's about. So hear ye, and welcome. Shout out to folks who are here to join me. Shout out to all the people who are going to come a little bit later. Um, just let me do this. Oh Lord. Now I gotta pay. So I was gonna try to have the stuff automatically show up when people join and say a comment, but unfortunately, I have to pay. Um, but welcome. Let's get into it, friends. Welcome. So, this month was a lot, but in my life update, this month was a lot. So many things, but I think as chaotic as it was, like I've been trying to lean into more of like softness and like resetting my space and being a little bit more vulnerable with myself, and allowing myself to be in that stage with just me. And like I think that that's been really good. That's been really nice. Um, it's been very different. I had a company retreat last week. I was wrapping up a major project 2 weeks ago, still wrapping up that major project, i.e., why I was late. And so, like, it's a lot of things that I'm doing. And so, instead of like, I think, as all the people who know me know that I'm such a chatterbox, I'm on the phone, I'm talking to someone, I'm in a group chat. I'm trying to take a little step back away from that right now and focus a little bit more on me and being present with my family. My niece graduates this weekend, and so I'm super excited for that. Um, it's why I look amazing. I know I usually would be looking cute for these, but I'm waiting until later on to get my hair cut. So shout out to that. But yeah, so let's dive into what I've been watching outside of reality TV. So it's a mix of Netflix, Apple TV, Hulu that's been having all of my attention. And so I'm recently watching a show called Nobody Wants This. It's messy. I love it. I'm a fan. It's our girl Kristen Bell's in it. Adam Brody's in it. Essentially, she's a girl who has a podcast with her sister, and she what's it called? I'm blanking. She has a podcast with her sister, and she hold on. I'm trying to get my talking points for later together so I can just jump boom boom bam. Uh-oh. Is everything live? Is it ready? Is it together? Perfect. Okay. Whew. Um, but yeah, so she has a podcast with her sister. She ends up dating. She goes to a friend's house or whatnot, for like a little, like having a dinner. It just was so cutesy. It's set in LA, of course. Everything's set in LA. I feel LA or New York. Like, does nothing else exist? Do we have no places in Texas that the people can go to? Like, come on, y'all. And so, like I said, it's really cutesy, um, really gorgy. Uh, he's a rabbi. It's a lot of drama with that, and her sister is like, whatever. You got to watch the show. Blood of Zeus, of course. I love the mythology, love the drama, and I love that it's like this anime. I've been really jumping into my anime bag. For the real anime people, don't whack me. Like I started watching like Naruto, and Boruto. Well, I've always watched Naruto, but I did a Naruto rewatch, and so I made it past like the war, the Great Ninja War, and so like that is essentially the wrap up of it. There's still a few other episodes that I've been like looking at. I already started my Boruto. I've been watching My Hero Academia, as y'all know. Shout out to the My Hero Academia girlies. Um, but yeah, like Blood of Zeus gives me sort of like that anime feel, that I appreciate as well. And boom, boom. You getting back into you just wrapped up. If you don't watch you on Netflix, watching you season 4. Joe is such an interesting character. Um, and honestly, I was in love with you season one, and I think a little bit of season two as well. But after that, I'm like, season three was entertaining for sure. But like, after I got with my girl, I'm like, girl, what am I watching? And so like, watching season four, I'm like, I'm trying to get into like the new dynamic, but I'm missing a few things in between. Also watching The Studio, which is really cute. It's sort of like a Hollywood satire type of show um, that I really enjoy. I really like. Shout out to my roomie for getting me to watch it because he was watching it, and I was like, actually, I want to watch this. I've been watching a lot of TV, um, just throughout the day, inside of work, outside of work, just to calm down. That's usually how I decompress at the end of the day. And then Nine Perfect Strangers, so good. There's something else I was watching, something else that was culty that I was watching. I was telling my siblings about. I can't think of it anymore. To my nephews wanting Arby's. Oh, Sirens on Netflix. I forgot to put that on here. Sirens on Netflix. Hey, hey! If you didn't watch it, please watch it. So good. Anyway, I don't have any pop culture headlines because I didn't have time to research what's going on in pop culture, quite frankly. So sorry for that, my friends. But yeah, we're gonna jump in. Let me tell. I want at least some of my friends who watch my shows. To jump on in because I want to have a dialogue with them or not. Like I said, I'm kind of off. Um, and so, shout out to the girls who are here and watching with me. Um, Nonetheless, but boom, Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, Real Housewives of Atlanta, we have 4 episodes that didn't happen. OMG. Hi, Michaela. We have about 3 episodes or 4 episodes that didn't happen this month so far. I did not get a chance to look at the last episode. But we have, of course, the first episode with Black Mel Nahini, I believe, is what we had for. So episode 9, 10, 11, 12. Let me double check, y'all. Baby, I know I'm about to get some wax from all my friends who watch my videos consistently of how underprepared I am for today's episode. So sorry, girl. I was really hoping somebody could co-host with me. The girl Nashville, um, Angela is mad at all the girls. So I don't know if I talked about this at the last episode or not, but Portia said she was gonna fuck Angela's husband. And Angela overheard. She was in her room. She came downstairs. She's like, "So what was tea?" She was upset with Shamia and all the girls for like laughing about it. They were kikiing about it. They thought it was funny. Thought it was a joke. And she's like, "How dare you?" Um, and that's essentially has been like the storyline of like Angela having smoke for everybody who was around, who was laughing about the Charles situation and jumping in front of that, busting that myth of like her husband did not cheat on her, he did not have an outside baby or whatever, all these things allegedly. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know who Charles is, child. I don't know nothing about it. Whatever. And so we have that. Of course, we have they had a meditation and mediation episode where they did a Pampered by Portia event. And so a lot of people are saying because they were laughing, Shamia was laughing at Portia talking about her husband. She was like, "Let me come into y'all's relationship too." And so she essentially was saying that like, Portia, the people are tired of, or Shamia is tired of being considered your lapdog. And that like there's been like a big shift with Shimmy and Portia lately, which is very interesting. Um, it's one of those things where like you want to do something with like your close friends who know you so well, but you just have to be so very careful about it. You have to make sure that like y'all's relationship is intact. Y'all have sort of these boundaries and you have sort of these barriers within y'all's relationship. And not just boundaries of like, we won't go here, we won't go there, but like boundaries for other people not to interfere with what y'all got going on. And I think that's what happened with Portia and Shamia, is that so many people, Shamia one has been on the show for years, but this is the first time she has a piece, this is the first time she has a voice, this is the first time she can actually say what she wants to say and sort of control and shift the narrative, or not shift the narrative, but like show her side of the narrative. And so that hasn't been the best of things for Miss Portia, but you know, we here, we got it. Um, and then they also have like a conversation with like Ralph, Portia, and Shamia that they're like at dinner with him, but you're mad at Drew for like doing music with what's his name? Doing music with Hot Dog Man, Dennis. But you're like, oh yeah, it's not bad for us to meet with Ralph. Like it's the messy antics, which we here for and we tuned into. Um, and then there's the episode 11 where Shami and Portia actually have a conversation. Angela, you know, continues to uncover as all the things that Angela uncovers, child, within her family. Like Angela, I for sure would say is giving us the most well-rounded sort of like housewife journey type deal. And sorry I'm speaking through this. I just really want to get to my Mormon wives. And so let me also, and so I'm trying to get through Atlanta so that I can still set some time for that because I do want to. Let me send this link. Let me send it to Michaela too, in case she want to come up here and talk about the Mormon wives. Because baby, that's my show. Boop 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 boop. Anyway, we have them have a conversation. Shamia talks about the relationship being lopsided, and she talks about like how it feels. She doesn't like how it feels that Portia, I think Portia is saying something like they're both talking about how they're letting the show get in the middle of their relationship. And Shami is like, well, girl, I just want to talk to you. And then Portia's like, girl, I don't want to talk to you on the show about the show. Like on this. Like, I don't, why are we doing this? I don't want to do this. I have all these things going on. And like, I get it. Portia does have a lot going on with like her and the assignment of it all. But like also Portia, you're like throwing, you're throwing a lot of your shade in issues as well. Anyway, Britt had her brand lunch. We won't get too much into that. It wasn't cute. It wasn't great. Britt don't know what she's doing. The girls, the person who she hired as her decorator, who she said that was like her event person who was supposed to like set the whole scene. She said that like, oh, like I was supposed to have like light bike. I don't even know if she was gonna have light bike. She was gonna have drinks for everybody around her, but she was supposed to have like what's it called? Whatever. Like I say, I'm over Housewives of Atlanta right now. I'm of course tuned in. Will be tuned in. Phaedra has returned. Frack is back. Um, I I liked Phaedra a lot up until how she ended with Married to Medicine. Period. Somebody said until Apollo ruined everything. And yeah, Apollo did ruin everything. But no, I was fine with like the antics like that she had, like the messiness. Like Phaedra knows how to keep the show going. She was the reason for the season of Traitors. And I appreciated her and enjoyed her drastically, completely, utterly. But I think that she got a little bit too big for her britches when she was on Dubai, she was on Traitors, she was on Married to Medicine. The Married to Medicine girls like, you're not about to punk us. And so she's like, well, fuck y'all, these types of bitches. And so seeing her back on the show reading people immediately, like I did see that clip of like she's saying like Brit's a woman around the town, and the angry short strawberry shortcake talking about Kelly and what's her name, Kelly, whatever her name is, talking about Angela and like the secret baby and stuff like that. Like you throwing your shade, you picking your fun, and like that's all good and dandy. But like I don't know, I whatever. And so, do we miss Phaedra's chaos? Do we think Portia and Shamia can repair their relationship? I think Portia told her happy birthday most recently. And then also, is Angela misunderstood or she being pushed to be the villain? So, popped on real quick, watched it. Just my real quick, I like to talk about all the reality shows I've watched. It was so cute. They did like a queer episode. Shout out to the people for doing that because I was literally going to text my friend who I talk about it with and be like, dang, like this would be great if they did a queer one. And they did. And I was like, oh girl. And then all the people's like 30. I'm like, girl, put me on there. I'm looking for love. I'm looking for love. But no, really cute, enjoyed, loved. I think I know a lot of people don't like the pop the balloon, but it's like good like background. Like if I just want to watch something quick, just something to pass through the time that I watch. The first episode was very brutal, and I think it got better, much better after that. And so shout out to that. Vanderpump Villa. So Vanderpump Villa, I watched season one and season two. So I'm gonna talk about season one really, really, really quick. So season one they did Chateau Rosabelle in France. And like this is the cast from season two. Yeah, this is the cast from season two. I was too lazy to put season one in season two, but season one was really, really good. Season two was by far better. I watched season two first because the Mormon Wives was supposed to be on there, and so I was like, oh, I gotta get all my girls in. I gotta get all my girls in. The way that we better talk about Mormon Wives, y'all, because the way that I'm speaking through just to talk about everything Mormon Wives, if y'all do not talk this show with me, I am doing nothing, girl. I'm just be sad. But season one, we had Marciano and Hannah, who are on season two as well. They have such an explosive relationship. I never want to be in a toxic relationship that everyone can see. Not just on TV, but like even in person. Like that's embarrassing to me. Of like people see that we're going up and down. I'm cursing you out, you cursing me out. You're saying this, I'm saying that. Um, and like I don't know. I don't like that. That's embarrassing to me. And so Vanderpump Rules and enjoy the clips I see about it. Like, like of course, like the scandal of all of it all was like major. But like I I can't get too much into the white people drama. As much I can and I will. It's called work. But I just don't I see so much of it in so much of my day to day that like I whatever. But with Vanderpump Villa, it's like a very live. I oops, my Wi-Fi was. I think I'm that. Anyway, Vanderpump Villa talking about how it's like an abbreviated version of like the Vanderpump Rules. Like, it's just a cast of people. Um, anyway, the Marciano and Hannah of it all. I really like Tilly, the black girl. Is what I like about the black people on here is that there's like an unspoken. I'll talk about it again for season two. There's an unspoken understanding that the black people have of like, yes, we're a part of these white people's franchise and we're a part of like their world in this way. Lisa Vanderpump's white, all these types of things, but like what we're not going to do is like misrepresent one another, even if we do it on the show because it's real life. Like black people aren't just going to like just jump and bundle together, even in a workplace. Like there's various factors for that reason. It could be because they don't want to be seen as the black folks all together in the group, or sometimes the people your skin folk ain't your kin folk. But like what I do like about season one and season two, there was an understanding of the black folks. And so season one, we have our girl. I'm blanking Gabby. I forgot Gabby's name. If it's Gabriella or Gabrielle. But Gabby and Tilly had like a little clock, 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 clock. Because Tilly called her Toucan Sam. And was mad because Grace wanted to date Andre, I believe, the other black guy, and the black guy wanted to be with Gabby, so to say. And so like like it was drama. it was drama with that because they're trying to be on Grace's side. And they're like, bitch, like, fuck her. Like, she's this. You know how people just be talking about people just for the sake of it. And so, like, it was a little bit nasty. It was a little bit mean girl. But, like, at the reunion, they were like, we're good. And we see each other. And, like, we understand. And I just, I don't know. I appreciate that. Karama hosted the reunion. Um, Eric, who was the host, apparently had a lot of scandal, and so he wasn't invited to the reunion because they was like, "We gonna make this reunion about the show and not about everybody else's personal life." No, girl, but we are privy to it now because you brought them to the show, and so now we know what's going on with them, and we want to know what's really going on. And so I do think that there's a way that these sort of like reality shows unfortunately get sanitized, just like Big Brother, Survivor, like with the reunions and things like that. Like so many of these shows like get so sanitized to the point of like you don't necessarily know what's really going on with the group because they only want to talk about what happened on the show. But like there's things that weren't shown or there's unseen footage and things like that that factors into the way that people are going off. They're not just blowing up just because. Y'all know this. So going into season two, they're in Italy, Castello Rosado. Stassi joins the cast, and so she's sort of like watching with Lisa Vanderpump as her additional eye. She's there with her husband because she wants to learn it. Her husband's Italian, and so she wants to get Italian citizenship, and that's like really cute. Whatever. Andre once again is some more love triangle drama. Girl, they about to start doing a song. Girl, let me hurry the hell up so we can talk about. Oh no, they just looking at something. I was about to say, let me hurry up and talk about Mormon Wives. Anyway, Marciano is on the show. He talks about he's on the show. The Mormon wives come on the show. Marciano's flirting with Demi. Watch that episode. If you're not gonna watch, we talking about Mormon wives. If you're not gonna watch Vanderpump Villa, at least watch Vanderpump Villa season 2 when the Mormon wives come up there. You see Layla and Chase, I believe his name is, have like a little cute flirtation going on. You see Marciano with Demi. What's unseen on the TV, but it's scandal on the fucking show is Marciano and Jesse. Watch this show, y'all. They had Hannah and Marciano. So there's this guy named Ciati. He's a black guy. Is he on here? They don't got Ciati on here. I liked it. Ciati was one of my favorite people. He was a little bit he was fake. He played the game with the people. Apparently, he was from the UK. He had a British accent, but like on the show, he didn't have a British accent because, like, I guess he didn't want to be judged. He wanted to fit in with the black people. I don't know. I talk like I'm black. I talk like I'm from the country, really. And so I'm here. So ain't no way of me changing and getting rid of this accent. Maybe a little bit, but the twang always come out. Howdy. And so he was actually one of my favorites. He just was in this very like nasty relationship with Sienna, which is the black girl with the blonde hair on the end. I didn't really too much like their dynamic, for sure, but like enjoyed him, enjoyed Andre. Andre got called out because Andre wanted Bridget, who was the sous chef who got fired. They were firing people left and right. They fired Bridget. They fired I forgot his name, but he's like bi or something. He was all up on Paulie. They fired him. They fired Hannah and Marcel. Like they were telling people go home left and right. And I love that on the show. Let's send them out and let's put another one in. What you won't do, somebody else will. And really for less to pay, babes, because I probably got to pay you people rates. And so that was good. I think Stassi's like turn on the show was really nice. Not super needed, but like it did bring something different to the show. The cross show drama really, if it was for Mormon Wives being on there and being such a buzzing topic, I wouldn't have never watched this show. And so shout out to that. That's what brought me there, and that's what's going to get me to stay. Happy to see season 3 and move forward. Andre, I think Andre's misunderstood. The girls were saying Andre was a gaslighter. Like Andre's trying to have his cake and eat it too. He likes Gabby, but he also wants to have fun. He's a guy. He's seen like him have his fun. These white people can be as sloppy as they want to be, but we want to be hard and harsh with the black guy. And the staff. I don't know. I love that the staff, like no one on the staff is that, like besides the Hannah and Marciano of it all, like no one on the staff is that buzzy to where like they take everyone's attention. Like it's truly an ensemble show. Anywho, We ready? All right, y'all, let's get into it. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So I'm going to have Michaela jump up and join me for Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So, Michaela, hello, hello. Are you here? Is this recording on? Child. Michaela, girl, come on, come on. It's your time. It's your time.
I'm here.
I
I'm here. I'm
also
here.
would,
I'm here. I'm here.
okay, there you go. I would also love if Jayla and Brittany can join, but if not, it's okay. Send y'all love. So, y'all, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is truly my favorite reality show out this month. One of my top reality shows. Like, it's not up there with Married to Medicine, Real Housewives of Atlanta in its peak, but it's pretty darn close. Like, it is nibbling at Real Housewives of New York for me. Um, Salt Lake City is definitely, up there too. But like, it's something about these Mormon wives. Michaela, can you give us a quick sort of overview of what, for people who don't know what Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is, like, what is it about before we get to season two?
Sure, sure, sure. Wow, I'm being put on the spot to like fully present. Oh my goodness. Okay. So basically it's about these group of women. They form this kind of like coalition or group or content house in a way, content group.
Come on, Content
Um
House.
Yeah, called MomTok. And in MomTok, they all create videos with each other. They're all supposed to constantly like comment on their videos. They're supposed to interact um to build up following and all that good stuff. Um to keep people interested in MomTok and to I take it as kind of like an anthropological study just to see like, oh, these are how people act in Utah, because I never knew. Like, I never knew how Mormon people acted. So it really kicked off because the girlie in the front, Miss Taylor, in this picture, um, had a little scandal. She was apparently swinging with Miranda, who's in the very back left. I think that's left, technically.
Mm-hmm. Blind.
Yeah. Her and her husband. And she being Taylor exposed everybody, put their names, addresses, phone numbers all over TikTok.
She said we were all swinging.
We were all swinging,
Everyone hooked up with each other.
everybody. So that's pretty much what launched Mom Talk into like the whole stratosphere. Not everybody in this picture was swinging, but I have a feeling, especially after watching this last season and finishing the last episode, I have a strong feeling that somebody wanted to be involved in the swinging and couldn't be. She tried to join too late, but we'll get to her. We'll get to her. We'll get to her.
So I'm going to we're talking about season two, so I'm going to give sort of season two recap highlights and then just some like post-season discussion questions for me, Michaela, and y'all to get into. So season one was all about Taylor. To what Michaela, you beautifully said, girl, I would have rambled and started talking about so much stuff, girl. I would have been talking about Demi, because that was my first, to me, that was my favorite girl, Whitney.
I love
I would have
me
been
some
saying stuff that
Disney.
isn't
I
even
really did.
necessary for the overall whatever about the show. But no, like, I love these women. So what I don't love is that these women are younger than me. And they have all these things going on in their life. And not even just as far as like success and like money. Like, all this drama. Girl, I didn't have this much drama in high school. And these women are like beefed up, fighting, trying to stop people's bags, like the works. And so season one was mainly an introduction to them, introduction to the volatility that is Taylor Frankie Paul, who's in the middle, who's icon queen. Like,
Mhm,
once again,
mhm,
the reason for the season. Like, when I
mhm.
talk about like my top three faves, and so my top three faves from season one were Macy, Michaela, Macy, I fucked up. Macy, Demi, and Whitney. Macy, because she plays the perfect middle. I really love and I really enjoy someone who's like able to balance. the volatility of their friendships, because that's a strong skill and it's really hard. And like, I personally think she did it with so much grace. Season one, season two could be a little bit more desired. I don't think she was
Mhm.
bad at it, but season one, I think she did really good at like being people's friends without throwing the other people under the bus of being like, yeah, I can't believe that bitch said that. Like, she'll say her points if it's something she's feeling, but she's not lighting the fire. She's just listening, being that arm, being that ear for folks. And so I really appreciated that. I love that Demi was a firecracker. I love that Demi said a lot of the things that people. She's one of those people who I'm gonna speak what you think. And as New York says, girl, of course we all speak our minds, or otherwise we're gonna be talking out our asses. But I feel like Demi is a mix of both. And then Whitney is just the ultimate perpetual, like kind of like victim, kind of like
Hot mess.
hot mess express, like her husband and all their drama. Like, honestly, I think I want to do a show specifically just over Mormon culture and Mormon reality TV shows because I'm obsessed. Like, if you are Mormon, ex-Mormon, holla at me. Do you know, Michaela, one of my best friends in high school was Mormon?
No.
He was black too. He was biracial, but he was black. And so I want to ask him, like, how does he feel about all these things? We're not as close as we used to be, of course. It's been 10 plus years ago. But, like, I would always ask, just like that, the stereotypical black person ask a question they don't know and just be, so do y'all believe in that? So y'all don't do. Why not?
Well, I
Um,
didn't know what a Mormon was until probably maybe 5 years ago. Like, I learned over the pandemic, and I was like, oh, wait, this is a thing. And this is like something people believe in. And what do you mean, Jesus Christ from Jacksonville, Mississippi? Like,
it's such a big culture, like a
it's
big, like
huge.
concentrated. Like, I'm like, damn, the people show out for Mormonism. But okay, listen, before y'all whack me, let's jump into it. So, number one, Taylor Frankie Paul and Dakota Mortensen's breakup. So Taylor ends her tumultuous relationship with Dakota after confirming his infidelity, which we knew.
Mhm.
And she prioritizes her children's well-being and moves on from the toxic dynamic. That's actually a lie. She says she moved on from it, but they were still having sex.
I don't know how
Um,
you move on and you are continuously having sex with the person that you're supposed to move on from. I don't know how that works, actually.
and I don't know how
Somebody,
that works either. Chad, Sammy, you still here? Let us know, girl. What is it like to move on from somebody? If you know, girl. But what is it like to move on from somebody allegedly, but still have sex with them? Like, that's the part that I can't connect in my mind because for me, we're done. We're done. And like, yes, we have a kid, and so we're going to be together for sure. But like,
that should
okay.
be a 15-second interaction at most. Like, here's your son. Goodbye.
My sister has not been with my niece's dad in years, and they not swinging and doing none of that stuff. My one of my closest friends, her and her ex husband, they don't have that going on. But whatever. One that was a big thing last season too. Is like, is Dakota cheating on Taylor? And so they brought his girl who he was cheating with on the was it the first or the second episode, Michaela?
The first one.
The first episode, Jenna. And when I say
Mhm.
Jenna is so tea for me because they're like, okay, so what's going on? And she's just happy to be there. She just like,
Smiling,
what?
cheesing,
What do y'all
literally.
want to know? Are
Don't
you
piss me
fucking my
off.
man? Like, that's what I want to know. And so she was like, yeah, girl, he was hitting me up talking about let's go to the movies, let's do this, let's do that. Taylor's crying because Taylor's like, wait a minute, all of the cutesy date stuff he's trying to do with you, but with me, he was just hanging and banging with me. That's it. And that's sad and unfortunate. And we'll get to Taylor and her family dynamic maybe later on. But like, I think that is messed up with how men use women, especially in this culture, as a rag doll and a rag and tag. Like, here you go, and expect you to stay. That baffles me. But moving on.
Well, before you
What
move
you about to
on,
say?
I just think that he also kind of, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but he uses his addiction past too as kind of an excuse to keep her on because everybody, not he like has her whole family kind of under his wing, keeping an eye on him to make sure he doesn't slip up again, which he is actively on something still, I think. personally.
So y'all, he's a former fentanyl addict. Was it fentanyl, or did I make that up?
I think it's fentanyl, yeah.
He's a former fentanyl addict, and all season one, the mama was saying he's an addict, he's an addict, he's an addict. She gets pregnant for him mid season one, or at the in the first episode, and after they have the baby, they have the baby at the end of the season. It's all he's trying. Is that what it takes for us to have a child to where you switch on his side completely for the
I
sake
think
of the
just for
family?
them. Just for them.
That was wild for me, but. Moving on really quick, speaking of fertility. So Demi Ingeman, my favorite Demetria, opens up about her ongoing battle with infertility, which includes her husband's low sperm count, her endometriosis, and the group has a pregnancy test that triggers an emotional breakdown, highlighting, like, first and foremost, Michaela, why the fuck are we playing? So y'all, they play pregnancy roulette. What pregnancy roulette, which the Mormon girls are always getting pregnant. So what pregnancy roulette is that all of the girls go to the restroom allegedly. I don't know where they do it. Pee on the stick. I don't know if they rinsed it off.
Of
I don't
course
know
they
what.
didn't rinse it out. Did you see
Stop,
the
stop,
end?
stop. I'm thinking that they rinsed it off. I'm in my mind they rinsed it off in its water.
I don't think they rinsed it off because there was the end of one of them scenes where
That's
it was like a
filthy.
puddle.
That's filthy. And so they put all of them in a. They put them all in like a Easter basket, and so they're shaking the Easter basket up. You're supposed to grab it and read your pregnancy test. And so we're seeing, is anyone pregnant? Very cruel joke for anyone who has infertility issues, but
Hmm.
also so Mormon because they're always pregnant. And so it goes to show that two of them were pregnant. Demise cried to get it's one of it. One of them is for her, which, not to be insensitive, you know,
She
you,
shouldn't have participated, if I'm being completely honest.
she shouldn't have participated. And I think that, like, I think there's twofold. Y'all need to be mindful of your friend going through this pain. And also, to me, you need to know when you need to opt out and say, I can't do this because this is too much for me. And so, like, it's twofold. It's, I want to take this responsibility of making sure that, like, my friend doesn't feel whatever. And also, let me make sure I don't put myself in that situation because I don't know when the last time I took a pregnancy test. Which, like, girl, if you trying all the time, like, I don't know, Michaela. Like, I don't know.
And I just feel like I think that was kind of I feel like it was I think ultimately with them, I don't think they're friends with each other. So I think everything they did was just pointed at each other. And not to say because I think Layla was the one that pulled out the bag of pregnancy tests. So I
Yes.
don't think Layla would have did that intentionally. But I do think it was very weird in a very random time to do a pregnancy roulette game like that because
Y'all
I don't
didn't do
know.
it last season.
No, they didn't do it last season, and they were all pregnant then. All
Exactly.
of
So it's just, it's like you knew what was happening, you knew what was going on, and you kind of knew this was going to be a sore spot for her. And like whoever's on the production team, quality TV. But like just thinking reality or realistically, like that hurts.
yeah. I don't think that I think Demi should have opted out knowing that she has the fertility problems, and then I just think I don't think it should have happened. I think they should have went out to New Orleans and ate some more food or something. Like I don't know why we were in the house doing this. Truthfully,
Correct, because y'all, so also for folks who don't know, Mormons can't drink. They still do, some of them. Mormons can't drink. They can't have coffee. They can't have caffeine. They can't have alcohol. Like they can't even have wine, although they be drinking champagne. It confuses me. But they can drink soda, and that's it. Moving on.
ketamine
What you said, sister?
and do ketamine.
They do ketamine. Thank you. You're so moving on to another pregnancy that was allegedly unplanned. Jen Affleck. So Jen grapples with an unexpected pregnancy amidst a strained marriage with her and Zach Affleck. Her raw emotional response to subsequent perinatal depression lead producers to halt filming her story mid-season. So Jen was one of the girls, very gorgeous girl, very, very gorgeous girl, beautiful. She's the only other woman of color, allegedly, aside from Layla, because she's Latina.
Mhm.
And so her and Zach have a very traditional relationship. They went to Chippendales. All the girls went to Vegas last year for their cash trip. Or they had multiple, but one of their trips they went to celebrate Layla for her birthday. Layla's single. She's black. They're like, well, not they're not doing it because she's black, but she's single. She young. She never had an orgasm, and so they're like, girl, let's have fun. And so they go to Chippendales. Lord, my turn to my mama. They go to Chippendales, and so at Chippendales, they have dancers, whatever, whatever. Jen tells her husband, he flips out and says, if you do this, you're going to be a single woman. And like, mind you, he has a gambling addiction, allegedly. And so that put a real sour taste in her mouth, season one. And so season two, they tried to sort of not recuperate or like, but try to like, I felt like season two was all about like, let's do a smooth recovery. And so people can know I'm not that much of an asshole. And so they did all of that, showed all of that, and they showed us them having a ketamine session, a ketamine therapy session, y'all.
I'm googling this really quick because I just realized she was pregnant doing ketamine.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
And
Um,
so my
that
thing
baby
is, she
had a
told him he
baby.
couldn't be in the house. Period. She told him she couldn't be in the house, and so he comes to the house and he's like, "Oh, am I welcome back?"
That storyline, I am so truthfully and utterly perplexed by because they really made. I like Jen Affleck. She's not one of my favorites. She's not in my top three. I never said my top three. I realized, but my top three
Shit, I meant
are
to ask you.
no, you're
No,
good.
top three from season one.
Season one, it was
Yes, because
Taylor.
I'm going to ask you again when we're done. Hmm.
Okay, it was Taylor, Whitney, and Demi. Those are my big three. Not in any
And
particular
they are the
order,
big three.
and they really are the big three.
Except for Taylor, because she is number one, unfortunately. Like Taylor
She
is the
really
reason for
is.
the season.
Queen Bee, like Sharpay Evans down, like everything, like
Down.
all of it. But anyway, Jen Affleck's storyline this season just really perplexed me because they really made her out to be a full-on liar. Like the whole we're actually not related to Ben Affleck. Um
Which, why would you do that to me?
I went on national TV and I said, I'm related, or my husband is related to Ben Affleck. This is what he's been telling me as long as we've been married for 5 years or however long they've been married. And then all of a sudden, we're not related. Like, come on now. And then apparently, I've been getting like the podcasts and stuff. Um, they lied about when she took the pregnancy test. So that whole pregnancy crying scene that they had was acted. And let me tell you, that was great acting if it was true. But I have never personally seen somebody break down like that when they get a pregnancy test, if I'm being completely honest.
Hmm.
So that whole story, I don't like it. I don't like Zach. I don't know if you saw his TikTok where he was like, hashtag Latinas, hashtag loco. I'm clearing out my white bloodline.
Girl, I saw that and I said, "Are you kidding me?" I don't know. Did I not send that to you, girl? I sent that to
I
Jayla and
saw it though. You didn't send it to
I
me, but
sent
I
it to
did
Jayla.
see
I sent it to Jayla and Brittany because I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
it.
My pants
Eugenics.
are looking down, knowing I'm about to end my pure white bloodline. Live, laugh, love Latinas.
Eugenics.
Are you
Insanity.
okay?
He's not,
What would you say,
obviously.
James? What was that?
And let's talk about the gambling problem that they also made her seem like she lied about too. Because he was like, no, I didn't gamble my money away. What do you mean you didn't gamble the money away? Why aren't you in med school right now? Because the money is gone.
And she was cute when she said, "Now Zach," because she was like, "What we're not about to do is like throw me completely and utterly under the bus."
Completely and utterly.
And so, um, Yeah. Sorry, girl. I'm over here getting work teams. That's like it feel like it's getting
You good,
tense,
you good,
girl. I'm
you
gonna have to
good.
jump into that, child. Anywho, so Jen Affleck. So here's the thing. Jen Affleck got on my nerves the first two episodes, but as I started seeing the growing, I had to realize this. Jen is a victim of an abusive relationship.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that, knowing that, and she's young. And so knowing that, I was
Mhm.
like, you know what? Let me cut her some slack because, like, as much as I want to go off, and I want to go off, I need to understand that one, I will never praise the Lord, understand what that. Well, I wasn't a little abusive relationship. It just wasn't like that. And like, I would never want like people to like. She lies so much, girl, because that's how she survives.
It's literally protection for herself. It is literally protection to
And
lie.
she put herself on TV, maybe to free herself, maybe so that like in the eyes of the church she could be like, hey, you know what, this is wrong, this is whatever, like I don't know. And so like I got a little bit off of Jen, and and when I stopped getting on her as much as I get on anybody else for any regular thing, I was like, you know what can I say? Like, she's learning and discovering this. I was
Mhm.
proud of her when she was putting those boundaries up with him, but I feel like they dissipated throughout the season.
Yeah, once she got that positive pregnancy test, it was all over. It was
Yeah,
all over, and he
you
was
right. Come
worried.
on, child. What would John Smith do? Anyway. Uh, and so
He
next,
was cool with it.
Jesse Nagatakora, alleged affair.
What is
So
that
Jesse,
last name from?
what was that? Let me see. Maybe they South African.
Maybe I was so perplexed anytime I saw her last name because I'm like, huh?
Oh, it's New Zealand. It
Okay,
says Maori heritage. I
but
don't think
that's
that,
him.
but yeah, I don't think
The
that, but
ex-husband, current husband,
her current
maybe
husband, I
husband.
assume her.
Well, you heard the tea.
And so let's get into it. So Jessie faces rumors of from an affair that she had with Marciana Brunette from Vanderpump Villa. While she denies the allegations, the situation strained her marriage and friendships along the group. In addition to that, you see what I don't have on my fingers? The
Mm-hmm.
same thing Jessie don't in her interviews, a ring. Let's talk about
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think she was the one that had the affair. Let's start there. I don't.
Jessie?
Jesse, yes. I think this is one of the masterminded fake storylines that Demi is trying to start. I do. I genuinely do. And
So
trying to
let me
pull Jesse in. And she done paid well, Demi don't have no money. Her husband don't have no money because apparently he going around asking people for $10,000. But but something is really fishy to me, and I don't think Jesse is the one. And maybe I need to watch this episode of Vanderpump Villa
You need to
because
watch
I
Vanderpump Villa. It gave Demi. But here's the thing. In being in Vanderpump Villa, Sheena from Vanderpump Rules did an
okay.
interview to where she was recapping. They were all together. The three of them, plus some more, were all together. And so what she's saying is they all went their separate ways. Marciana came to her house. And then Jesse's like, OMG, come to the hotel or whatever. And it started off like Nene says in that video, pure innocent fun turns into drama. So it started off as pure innocent fun. Jesse's story is he went to another girl place to hook up, and it was too late for him to go back to Sheena, and so he came back to her house and slept on the couch. Marciano's story is no girl, I banged you,
Ooh,
and so I was with you at first, Michaela, because I said Demi did this.
hello?
Because it sounded like something Demi would do after
It's
knowing what
something
Demi
that
did.
she would mastermind.
After
She
knowing what
mastermind. She
and I
gotta
love
get
her
that
down.
$10,000 that her husband is asking for. So yes, she got a
Demi say,
mastermind.
Demi say I am mom talk.
Okay,
And so because of that, I really do think that because Jesse used to be a swinger.
exactly. And that's who. I was pointing the finger to at the beginning of the whole mom talk stuff that I was hinting towards. I think Jessie used to be a swinger somehow in some way, but she got enough money to pay for a PR firm because she's a millionaire. She's literally with them
which
bad
is wild
weaves,
to me.
with them terrible, awful weaves, the driest looking hair
Her
I've
hair be looking good.
because it's hers, and she don't go to Jay-Z style. Everybody else
Would that
though,
be a gag if she don't go to her own place?
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. It would not surprise me one bit.
Because my
Uh,
thing is, we're gonna have to do something better for Layla.
she just needs to go to a black stylist. Like I just don't understand. And I know now via Whitney's TikToks that black people live in Utah. So I don't see what the excuse is. I don't
So
see what the excuse is.
here's my question. I talked about this with Jayla. Do you think so? If y'all saw the new theme song, which I love, girl, if you saw the new theme song, all the women except for Jessie and Layla came out with their hair wet.
Well, Layla can't get her hair wet.
And that's what I said. And so Jayla thinks that this photo, their hair is CGI'd or edited, and this isn't their hair wet. I think it's their hair wet, and they only filmed it at the very end.
No, I saw a TikTok of some like behind the scenes stuff of that intro being shot, and they all did get their hair wet. All of them did, apparently. But they
Okay, so see, Jayla, if you listening, Pookie. But my thing is, they must have looked a mess. But my thing is, if they looked a mess, then why did they keep? I think Whitney's. It was somebody who came out that water looking a mess, or was it Taylor?
it was
They came out the
Whitney.
water looking like this.
Whitney is my favorite in that she can't dress. She always a hot ass mess, just disastrous. But I love her because she opens her mouth and says the most convoluted things you could ever think of. And I was just like, how did your
So
brain
much.
process all that? I
I
love her. I do. She's my Giselle Bryant because I personally love Giselle Bryant from Potomac. Sue me. I love Giselle Bryant too. Another queen that can't dress. Every time she opened her mouth,
She got better. I think she got a stylist with Karen being in jail.
yeah, you know what? I did see that she dressing a little better, which actually devastates me. And I actually have seen some TikToks of Whitney too, and she's starting to dress better too, and she lost a little weight. So I'm like, I'm actually a
Yeah, we
little.
got to talk about her off camera because, girl, yeah. These two, they did not do too well. Anyway. Mom talk power struggles. So the Mia attempts y'all to oust Taylor Frankie Paul from the Mom Talk leadership, citing concerns over brand representation. However, she fails to secure enough support, leading to further divisions within the group. If y'all did not see, which you probably didn't because I'm a super fan and I'm obsessive, there was an interview that they did right when it was the premiere. All the bitches wearing like either blue or tan. I don't even remember the color. That's how bad I was on.
It was
And
at the
Demi's
premiere.
wearing the other color. Yes, it was like the
It
premiere
was
that they
blue.
did, and they were like, all the girls were like, say, in a variation of tan. Demi was the only one in blue. Does it not show you who's on the outs? Next case.
Well, she had to get $10,000 from her husband to buy a blue dress. So
Mind you, Demi's husband is the finest man to me.
he really is at 45 years
And he's a
old. Like, he
man.
looks great
And you know
at
that's my type.
45 years old.
And he's a man's man. The rest of these men, like not bitch men, a man's man. And that's what Brett is.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what you say.
I do like Brett, but I just want to know why he going around asking for $10,000. Like, I just need the answer.
And so Whitney, we're gonna go a little over because I knew this is why I wanted to end with Mormon Wives, but I have a few more things to talk about. We'll briefly go over this. Whitney Leavitt's family life. She addresses the rumors about her marriage, affirming the strong bond with her husband Connor, who was alleged on Tinder, aka Grinder, according to the Reddit, allegedly. The couple welcomes their third child, Billie Jean, and navigate public scrutiny with humor and resilience. Whitney, I didn't like how you was the beginning of this season, bitch. Whitney, you gave me everything season one. You gave me everything on the floor. This season, you came with your tail in between your legs trying to secure your spot back. You don't need to secure your spot back. You are MomTok just as much as Sailor is MomTok. You are the villain. You
You
are
are
the
correct.
self-centered. You are only there for the bag. You don't want these friendships, and you said that season 1, and that's why I stood with you. The way she came in season 2 pissed me off.
I
Um,
fully agree.
can I
I
can I be
fully
back with the
agree.
group? Can you vote for me?
I
Whitney, if you
just
don't motherfucking say I'm back,
I love
because
her
I
because
say I'm back.
she sat in her delusion. She was so delusional. Season 1, she sat in that delusion, and it was something beautiful to witness. It really was.
Beautiful, because
And
she really
then
thought she was the leader of Mom Talk. Which she
she
was the
is
leader of Mom. Because the thing is, y'all can be the leader of Mom Talk because Taylor is scatterbrained, and so she don't have time to
mhm,
really manage y'all. But
mhm,
she is the moment, and you can never deny that.
mhm, mhm.
Like when Taylor comes back, people listen,
Yep.
and they should.
Yeah, because she gonna say something crazy too and stay on your head. Um, yeah, Whitney coming back, like you said, with her tail between her legs was just like crazy to witness because it's like you was on everybody's head last year. Everybody. And all of a sudden, please, can I please come back?
Mike
Are you
night.
gonna vote me in?
Tonight, welcome to Grand No Longer Cafe open Mike night. First
Oh,
up will be Grace
Oh, that's
Ann.
open mic night. Oh well, girl,
oh.
maybe we do need to wrap on up soon.
Where
Lastly,
are you at?
I'm gonna tell you offline. Lastly, Miranda McWhorter returned.
Mhm.
And she returns to group seeking reconciliation after past conflicts, and she opens up about her divorce and challenges of single motherhood, aiming to rebuild trust with her former friends. Friend Taylor was her best friend. She played Taylor like a fiddle and said, "Girl, I ain't never did none of that." Taylor was when they was in that interview and they did that side by side, and Taylor said, "We kissed. We was in the shower together. We played Guess Who. We blindfolded each other. Said Guess Who's kissing you. We slept in the same bed together. All four of us at the same time. We did this. We did that." I said, and Miranda was like, "Yeah, I like that." Because Miranda gonna tell you, "I didn't do nothing." But
And then
when you
you said,
say, "So you didn't do this and that," I did.
I know somebody got video, and I want to see the video. I know somebody somewhere got a video.
Because Miranda's hiding. Okay, so we gonna table this. We're going to come back, and
Oh,
I'm going. I'm gonna do a mom talk session, and we're gonna invite Michaela back on there. I'm gonna invite Brittany and Jayla as well. Anybody else who watched Mom Talk Mormon Wives. Thank y'all so much for joining us today. I really enjoyed it. I really appreciated it. I wish I could continue, but you can hear this, right, Michaela?
yes, yes, it's
So
happening.
yeah, we're just going to wrap it on up now. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate
Thank
y'all for tuning
y'all.
in. Thank you so much, Michaela. You were a
Thank you
delight.
for having me.
What you say, baby?
Bye.